5, 6, 3 मिनट खंड अपेक्षा करें स्टार्ट कर दूंगा.
କଣ ଖାଇଛୁ? ଆଜି ମା ଶାଗ ଭାତ ଶାଗ ଆଳୁ ବଢି ସବୁ ତରକାରୀ. ଆଜି ବୁଧବାର ମାଛ ଫାଛ କରିନଥିଲି. ନା ଏଟା ସବୁ କାମକୁ ପଳେଇଛନ୍ତି, ନାହାନ୍ତି ଘରେ କିଏ ପଢି ଯାଇଛନ୍ତି ସକାଳୁ କାମକୁ.
So let us start. Am I audible to you all? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
we will start experimental design. What is experimental? What is experiment? Yes, I have told you many times. Tell me. Any of you?
Cause effect relationship.
Yes. To determine the cause effect relationship. So always we have to take two variables. One is dependent variable, one is independent variable. I have told you many examples that suppose the reading habit and achievement. So some students have less reading habit, some students have a more reading habit, or reading with understanding, reading without understanding, and its relevance to the achievement, or effect of attitude on the achievement, effect of interest on the achievement. All these things can be taken in the experimental design. There are three experimental design. One is called pre-experimental design, other is called true experimental design, and the third one is called quasi-experimental design. So in each case, there must be variables. So I have told you yesterday, there are many variables in the individual, like intelligence, attitude, interest, the knowledge in science, knowledge in mathematics, and so on and so forth. These are the variables. But question here arises, these variables depends on which factor, whether the traditional method of teaching or activity method of teaching or a 5E model of teaching, and so on and so forth. I have told you that the teaching learning process, there is a paradigm shift in the teaching learning process from teachers dominated class to the learner dominated class, then the learning dominated class. The students, the last one is constructivism. They will construct their own ideas or develop the concept or understanding in the light of their past experiences. I was telling one example. Suppose the soil erosion. So they will tell during rainy season, what happens? If you ask, just the teacher becomes the facilitator of the learning process, teaching learning process. So in this way, there must be variable. There must be one is called independent variable, other is called dependent variable. The independent variable is also called the intervention program. So let us think of the pre-experimental design. In the pre-experimental design, what happens? There is no question of a pre-test. Suppose in some areas, television or mass media facilities are available. In some areas, the television facilities or mass media are not available. So what will be the problem? The effect of mass media or the television on the awareness of the learner. This is a problem set. Effect of the mass media or the television on the awareness of the learner. Similarly, during the corona period, that was the effect of online learning on the achievement of the learner. This was also the study may be taken. So let us take this example that is in your book. The mass media facility not available in a particular area, and mass media facilities is available in other areas. So what will you do? You may take equal number of sample where the mass media is available, where the mass media is not available. There is not necessary to test the pre-test, conduct the pre-test. It is not necessary. After 4 months or 5 months or 6 months after period, you test the awareness of the learner where television is available facilities, where television facility is not available. That is called post-test. It is clear? Is it clear? Pre-test? Is it clear or not? Yes or no? Well, again I repeat. The pre-test experimental design. Am I audible or not? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are
Yes, sir.
audible.
If I am audible, please tell me whether you have understood the pre-experimental design or not. Yes or no? ଏତିକି ଦିଟା ଶବ୍ଦ କହିପାରୁନ? Pre means before conducting true experiment. Okay? Pre means before conducting true experiment. There is no necessity of conducting the pre-test. There is no necessity of equalizing the groups. All these things. Non-equivalent groups, rather you can say. So in one area, the television facility is available. In other areas, the television facility is not available. So after some time, for 4 months or 2 months or whatever the period that you say, you test the post-test regarding the awareness, the effect of television facility on the awareness of the learner. This problem टा बुझिल कि नहीं? Problem टा बुझिल कि नहीं? Hello. अरे
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍
ବୁଝିଲ? ତାହେଲେ କଣ କରିବା ଆମେ? ତାପରେ ଆମେ post test କରିବା। ଦିଟାକ ଗ୍ରୁପ ର ଗୋଟେ ଟେଷ୍ଟ ଆୱାରନେସ୍ ଉପରେ ଗୋଟେ ଟେଷ୍ଟ କରିବା, କରିକି ଦିଟାକ ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ଆମେ କଣ୍ଡକ୍ଟ କରିବା। ଦିଟା ସେ ପୋଷ୍ଟ ଟେଷ୍ଟଟା, ସେଇ ପୋଷ୍ଟ ଟେଷ୍ଟ ରେଜଲ୍ଟରେ जोठी टेलीविजन फैसिलिटी अवेलेबल और जोठी टेलीविजन फैसिलिटी दी प्रकार रिजल्ट आसीबो आसीबो ना नहीं यू विल फाइंड टू
ଆଜ୍ଞା
टाइप
ସାର୍
आसीबो ताकू आमे एनालाइज करिबा दैट इज टी टेस्ट ताकू हमती टी टेस्ट because you have to find out the mean and standard deviation of both the groups, then find out the significance difference between the mean of the two groups. दीटा लेवल अच्छी 0.01 लेवल अच्छी 0.05 लेवल अच्छी से मु जाऊनी खाली एतिकी जानो तमे ताले देखिबा statistically if it is found that there is significance difference between these two group in respect of awareness program wherein the television facility is available where is the and the television facility is not available. The difference आसिला ताला में कहबा television has effect to develop the awareness among the learner. Yes or no? Very or no?
yes yes sir
Yes. So this is called a pre-test experiment. Then in the pre-test रे I would say one group pre-test post-test design. What will be done? Instead of you have selected two areas, means two groups. You have selected two groups where television facility is available, where television facility is not available. In the one group pre-test post design, single group, one group first you measure there or conduct the test. Their achievement test केते रहउछि कल तंकर आ बा अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम केते रहिला तापर कोन करबा हमें after some time say you have to provide them mass media facilities, the television or other facilities, then you have to conduct the post test hela on awareness program. Then you will compare between pre-test and post-test. Before giving the intervention program, that is mass media facilities, you have conducted test, and after providing the mass media facility, again you conduct the test, the awareness program. So you will find the difference between these two, whether there is a difference, whether there is a difference between boys and girls, and so on. We have selected single group. There is no question of urban and rural area, that is not possible. So single group, 30 or 50 like that, a single group may be taken. Suppose a new method of teaching, one group design, a single group, again you conduct the test, measure their or ascertain their achievement, and then you adopt new method of teaching, maybe activity method, maybe any other method. Then after some time again you measure what is the test result. So you will compare between these first test result and the second test result. You will come to the conclusion that if there is a difference because of the new method of teaching, so you can safely say that new method of teaching has effect on the achievement of the learner. Is it clear? Is
yes
it
sir
clear or not? Eh?
yes sir yes sir yes sir
Yes. So one group pre-test, post-test design. It is clear. Then let us come the static group comparison design, where there will be two groups. One is called experimental group, other is called control group. So you have to, one group is allowed the library study and other group is taught through the classroom as usual. So you will find out the difference between these two, whether there is the effect of the library study than the students who are taught through traditional method. That is your static method. Then let us come to the true experimental design. Here in true experimental design, you have to make two groups. Okay? These two groups will be identical in nature. Suppose group A or group B, these two groups will be identical in here their intelligence, their achievement, their other factors, the psychological traits will be same in life. So you will rank it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that score is given. Then 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 in one group, 2, 4, 6, 8 in other group. Odd numbers and even numbers. Then what will you do? To one group, you will apply or adopt the self-instructional method, teaching through self-instructional method, or teaching through new technology, or teaching through what I was telling you, that the interactive technology, the smart class. One group students will be taught through interactive technology, and other group will be taught traditionally. Clear? This is clear? प्रथम
Yes,
प्री
sir.
टेस्ट कले, प्रथम प्री टेस्ट कले तो प्रथम you have to conduct the pre test. So far the achievement is concerned, and the pre test result will be equal for both the groups. It is clear? The pre test result will be equal for both the groups. Hala sala etik janla to. Then one will be control group and other will call the experimental group. To the control group, you have to adopt the traditional method of teaching. To the experimental group, you have to adopt new technology. Clear? For 2 or 3 units like that, it should not take more. Then you will conduct post test for both the groups, for control group and for experimental, that is T2, for experimental group and also the control group. Pratham thila T1 pre-test, that is identical in nature. The T1 control group, T1 experimental group, T2 control group, T2 experimental group. This is etik bujhilo ki nahi kuha ago.
Yes, sir.
T2
Yes, sir.
bujhilo to?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Bujha.
sir.
Then what will you do? Then you have to compare, because while conducting the pre-test, the result must be same. Okay? In the pre-test result, there is no difference between in respect of the achievement. But in case of the post-test, there will be difference in their achievement due to intervention program. What is that? New method of teaching. New method of teaching, there will be difference. So if there will be difference, then we can say safely the new method of teaching has effect on the teaching learning process. Is it clear? এই পর্যন্ত বুঝলো কি নেই কুয়াগো?
Yes, sir.
Pre-test, post-test, control group design. It is called pre-test, post-test, कंट्रोल ग्रुप डिजाइन केते गोटे शब्द मन रख एक्सपेरिमेंटल ग्रुप कंट्रोल
control
ग्रुप
group.
इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल इंटरवेंशन वेरिएबल तापर प्री टेस्ट एंड पोस्ट टेस्ट एई कांसेप्ट गुडाक क्लियर हेइथिले आउ तुमको लिखिबार किछ असुविधा हबनी इज इट
Sir,
क्लियर
intervention variable टा sir ଟିକେ ବୁଝିହେଲାନି।
इंटरवेंशन कहू सुन एई जो न्यू मेथड ऑफ टीचिंग दैट इज इंटरवेंशन okay when
ଆଜ୍ଞା sir,
some new techniques is used that is called intervention program so we can safely say that a intervention program has effect on the achievement of the learner is it clear
yes sir,
so there are some limitations in the there are some strengths there are some limitations because I have told you that social science research may be experimental may be whatever the method of research it is there is not 100% objective that is subjective by nature so while equating the group there may be error the test that you use whether it is standardized test or not regarding the age must be same grade must be same and the teacher who teaches the intervention program both the teachers must have the same ability to transact the learning materials one will only difference one will teach through traditional method one will teach through the new method of teaching or interactive method of teaching that is a smart class only difference so any deviation हेलो नमस्ते कहतु हाँ हाँ ग्रेड फर्स्ट ईयर हाँ कल नहीं आसबी हौ हाँ 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 हौ 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 नमस्ते so this is one of the limitations the second limitation is when the intervention program is applied that must be applied very carefully in true sense maybe activity method maybe your smart class or whatever the intervention program it may be it must be adopted in a proper manner and when the interaction goes on it must be observed that the subjects these learners should not interact themselves so that you will not get the proper answer then at times what happens if the questions are too long the learners are reactive to the questionnaire okay so these are the limitations of the pre-test post-test control group design एतिक बुझिलो तो एतिक बुझिलो नहीं वो pre-test post-test control group design एटा बुझिलो कि नहीं एक्सपेरिमेंटल ग्रुप रो true experimental design. Am I audible or not?
Yes, sir.
Hello. बुझिल कि नहीं कुह?
Yes,
yes
sir.
sir बुझिगला
बुझिला. Second को आसीबा post test only control group design. What will be done? That there is no necessity of conducting the pre-test. Okay, the groups will be two in all respects. Do you follow my point? Two groups will be there. One is called the control group, other is called the experimental group. But there is no necessity of conducting the pre-test. One group will be taught through traditional method, that is the control group. Other group will be taught through the new method of teaching or interactive technology or anything else. So intervention program that. So after some time, again you have to conduct the post test. So you will find the difference between the post test of the control group and the experimental group, whether there is a difference or not. एतिक बुझिल कि नहीं कुह?
Yes,
Post
sir.
test only control group design. Only post, no pre-test conducted. No pre-test test is conducted, only post-test conducted. But the groups are same in all respect. Their intelligence, their achievement, etc., will be same, and the group will be divided into two. There is no necessity of conducting the pre-test. Okay? बुझिलाने post test टा. Post test only
ଆଜ୍ଞା sir
control
ବୁଝିଲା
group design. ହେଲା?
ଆଜ୍ଞା sir
ବୁଝିଗଲା.
Sir,
ତାପରେ ଆସିବା Solomon's 4 group design.
sir,
ହଁ କୁହ.
sir, without doing pre-test, how can we know they are equal group?
Huh. That is your very good question. When we make two groups equal, देखो ମୁଁ प्रथम कहूची, in experiment, true experimental, both the groups are equal in all respect. That means their intelligence, their age, their other variables will be same. Is it not sufficient? ଆଉ କଣ pre-test ଦରକାର? ଯେତେବେଳେ ଦିଟା ଗ୍ରୁପ କରୁଛେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଆମେ ଇଏ କଲେ ଅର୍ଡର କରିଦେଲେ 1 2 3 4 କରିକିରି 1 3 ଅଡ ନମ୍ବର ଗୋଟେ ଗ୍ରୁପ ରଖିଲେ ଇଭି ନମ୍ବର ଗୋଟେ ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ରଖିଲେ. There is no necessity of conducting the pre-test. ବୁଝିପାରିଲ କି ନାହିଁ? କିଏ ପଚାରୁଥିଲା?
Sir, without knowing they are equal, we can conduct post-test.
We have equated we have equated the groups already. Experimental group कहला माने true experiment, we have to make the two groups equal in all respect. Remember, intelligence is the major factor which determines all our intellectual activity. बुझिएला? Intelligence is the major factor which determines all our intellectual activity. When intelligence of the two groups are same, then other factors are negligible. Intelligence achievement depends on intelligence. Your problem solving ability depends on intelligence. Your reasoning depends on intelligence. Your understanding depends on intelligence. So in both the groups, the intelligence is which controls everything. All intellectual activities will be same for all two groups. Then it is assumed that the two groups are equal in all respects. बुझिएला? बुझिएला
Yes,
कि
sir.
नहीं?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ଆମର इंटेलिजेंस को ଆମେ आईक्यू रे यूनिट रे कन्वर्ट करूଛୁ ଆମେ आईक्यू रे कन्वर्ट करूଛୁ ना इंटेलिजेंस कोसेंट.
Yes,
ଧର
sir.
ଗୋଟେକର ହେଲା 87 ଆଇକ୍ୟू ଆଉ ଗୋଟେକର ଗୋଟେ ଗ୍ରୁପ ର ହେଲା ସେ approximately 88 IQ, almost same. कारण mean is the status of the group. I have told you, mean achievement or mean of everything is the status of the group. If the mean IQ of a group control group is 87 IQ and the mean IQ of the experimental group say 88, there is no difference. So the groups are equal in all respect. So there is no necessity of conducting the pretest. It is clear? Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Only
सर
we can go for post test. Huh?
सर
Any question?
आईक्यू जानिया ପାଇଁ सर हमको आईक्यू टेस्ट କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ
हाँ से आईक्यू टेस्ट न कले केमती हम इंटेलिजेंस टेस्ट न कले केमती हम
ଆଜ୍ଞା
कारण
ସାର୍
ଯେତେବେଳେ ଦିଟା ଗ୍ରୁପ ଆମେ ଯଦି ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରୁଛେ ଆମେ ଦିଟା ଗ୍ରୁପ ଇକ୍ୱାଲ ଇନ୍ ଅଲ୍ ରେ ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାରଲି ଏକ୍ସପେରିମେଣ୍ଟାଲ ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଏକ୍ସପେରିମେଣ୍ଟାଲ ଗ୍ରୁପ ଗୋଟେ ଅନ୍ୟମାନେ ସହଜରେ ନିଅନ୍ତି ନାହିଁ କାରଣ ତାର ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ୱିଲ୍ ବି ସେମ୍ ଆଟିଚ୍ୟୁଡ ୱିଲ୍ ବି ସେମ୍ ଦି ଷ୍ଟଡି ହାବିଟ ୱିଲ୍ ବି ସେମ୍ ଅଲ୍ ଦିସ୍ almost 1 point difference it is negligible will be same. So all the psychological traits of the two groups will be same and one group will be called control group and other group will be experimental group. Then we apply the intervention program, then go on post test and we will find the variation in the post test result. When you find the variation in the post test result between the control group and the experimental group, then we can say that the intervention program has effect on the teaching learning process or the achievement of the learner. This point is clear. This point is clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Solomons 4-group design. Instead of 2 groups, we may make 4 groups. A, B, C, D. And the 4 groups must be identical in nature. 2 groups will be taught or considered as control group and other 2 groups will be considered as the experimental group. We have to compare with A between A and C and B and D. That is a 4-group design. Okay? Is it clear? Solomons 4-group design, instead of 2 groups, we also make 4 groups, but the 4 groups will be equal in all respects. And also, we compare so that A with C group, B with D group. So they more scientific it is to say. So we can get the result. So these are the different experimental design. Another is a factorial design. In algebra, you must have known the factors. What are the factors of 4 and 6? What are the factors of 4 and 6?
सर 1 2
1, 2, ଏତିକି ନାଇଁ
yes sir
1 and 2 ସେଇଭଳି in the factorial design some factors are contributing for the result or the achievement of the learner. Only factor is not responsible. Suppose the attitude, the effect of attitude and study habit on the achievement. Followed? Effect of attitude and study habit on the achievement of the learner in the teaching learning process. We cannot say the attitude is solely responsible. You cannot say the reading habit is solely responsible for the achievement of the learner. So in order to ascertain the factor, which factor has more contribution for the achievement of the learners, we have to adopt the factorial design. That is called analysis of variance. So we have to statistically, we have to go through the analysis of variance. Of course, it is not your concern because it is a very a difficult task, analysis of variance, but the fundamentals you know it. Some certain factors, climatic condition of the school, teaching methods of the school, and attitude or ability of the teacher. So many factors are responsible for the achievement of the learner. When all these factors will be taken into consider intervention program, in the intervention program, uh, so we can find out the post-test result between control group and experimental group. And ସେଠି କ'ଣ ହବ, ଆମେ ଆକୁ analysis of variance formula ପକେଇବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ. Which factor is more dominant in determining the achievement, and other factors will be partial out, and one or two factors will be mainly responsible for achievement of the learner. ଏତିକି ବୁଝିଲ କି ନାହିଁ କୁହ? ଏତିକି ବୁଝିଲ କି ନାହିଁ କୁହ? Factorial design.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then let us come the quasi experimental design. आम प्रथम आलोचना कले प्री एक्सपेरिमेंटल डिजाइन, तापर आलोचना कले ट्रू एक्सपेरिमेंटल डिजाइन, तापर आलोचना करबा क्वासी एक्सपेरिमेंटल डिजाइन. When experimental design comes to our mind, always we have to make two groups. Always remember, one is control group, other is experimental group, and also pre-test and post-test. In the quasi-experimental design, it is not a true experimental design. It is not necessary to make the groups equal. बुझिएला? It is not necessary to make the two groups equal in all respect. Setting cause non-equivalent control group design. The groups are not equivalent in all respects. It is clear? In quasi-experimental design, particularly non-equivalent control group design, we have to form two groups at random, random basis. But these two groups will not be equated, not equal in all respects. Okay? This much is clear? This much is clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
आगे sir.
गोटे ग्रुप को आमे कौन कहबा? कंट्रोल ग्रुप कहबा. अदर ग्रुप कहबा आमे experimental group. Okay? Then to the experimental group, we have to adopt the or apply the intervention program. Maybe new method of teaching, or maybe the interactive method of teaching, जो स्मार्ट क्लास कहूचे. प्रथम T1 दी जनकर प्री टेस्ट करिबा, कंट्रोल ग्रुप रो प्री टेस्ट करिबा, रिजल्ट देखिबा, आउ एक्सपेरिमेंटल रो प्री टेस्ट करिबा. तांको भितर जो प्री टेस्ट रिजल्ट भितर आमे पसिबा नै, कंट्रोल ग्रुप एवं एक्सपेरिमेंटल ग्रुप रो हैला. एतिक बुझिलो त? कंट्रोल ग्रुप एवं एक्सपेरिमेंटल ग्रुप प्री टेस्ट रिजल्ट जहा आसिला ताको आमे कंपेयर करिया आवश्यकता नाही. किंतु आफ्टर इंटरवेंशन प्रोग्राम we will again conduct the post test, that T2, in case of a control group, which the group which has been is taught through traditional method, control group. The group which is not, which is the intervention program, like activity method, maybe 5E model or whatever the method it may be, is adapted to the experimental group. Then we will conduct the post test, that is T2. Then we will again compare both the T2 of control group, T2 of experimental group. We can compare also T1 and T2 of control group, T1 and T2 of experimental group. But mainly we have to compare the T2 post test of the control group and the post test of the experimental group. Then we come to the conclusion that whether there is a difference between the control group and experimental group, then we can say that the intervention program has effect on the achievement of the learner in the teaching learning process. Is it clear?
Yes,
Quasi
sir.
experimental design. Then come to separate sample pre-test post-test design. Here the sample may be in a class we can take, or in a class it is very easy. But here separate sample different schools, sample of different schools we may take. One school will be control group, other school will call be experimental group. Same thing will go on. And after the post test, we will come to the conclusion whether the intervention program has effect on the achievement. ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି ତାପରେ counter balance design. Here what happens? You will form 3 groups or 4 groups like that. Okay? What will you do? Suppose A, B, C. A group will be taught through traditional method. B group will be taught through experimental method, and C group in another method. Again, we have to, after some time, again A group will be taught through the the intervention program. B group will be taught through traditional method, phase wise. Sometime after about 15 days, 15 days, 15 days, 1 month and 15 days we take. तीन ग्रुप को आम रोटेशन वाइज पढ़ेबा आम देखा आंक भितर कंपैरिजन कौन रिजल्ट आसुची. So here there is no specific of control group and there is no specific of experimental group. So that we will find out it is the mixed group so that it will be balanced. The intervention group intervention will be balanced through these 3 groups. Then the one is time series design at different times. Here at page number 62 we see to T1, T2, T3, T4, the experimental group and control group. So at different times we go on teaching, and accordingly we can measure, assess. You just go through the book and get the control group time series design. Inshallah. Now let us take the steps in experimental method. What are the questions may come? What is the experimental method? Discuss the steps in the experimental method. ଯଦି ଆର ବର୍ଷ ନ ପଢିଥିବ क्वेश्चन ଦେଖିବ ଟିକେ ଏଥର ପଢି ପାରେ मेथड रे मेथड क्वेश्चन गोटे निश्चय आसीबो. सो प्रथम हला यू हैव टू सिलेक्ट ए प्रॉब्लम. The problem must be a felt necessity. How could you determine it is a felt necessity? According to the need of the learner, we can say that it is a felt necessity. Suppose the learners, now it is a learning centered approach. Suppose the learners are not able to understand what the teacher transect the learning materials. So accordingly, we have to select that the intervention program. So first you select the problem. Which problem will be more applicable for the learner? There are some children who are not able to understand the various concepts. This concept, how can you make them understand these concepts? Which method is applicable? Either through traditional method or through your new method of teaching. I was telling that when you do, you understand. So activity method is more have more significance than any other method because they are involved in the process. That's why we have to select a problem. There are number of problems. Let us say the Gandhian philosophy and its relevance to the present day society. Philosophical problem. Tagore's educational philosophy and its relevance to the present society. Philosophical problem. Suppose the survey, the achievement of the learners reading in class 8 in mathematics. Yellow survey method. The relationship between the attitude and the achievement of the learner. It is a correlational method. So different methods with different problems are there. At times we can say that girl students secure less marks in mathematics and boy students secure more marks in mathematics. Is it acceptable? Is it acceptable? Hello. The girl students are more efficient in literature and the boy students are less efficient in literature. Is it acceptable?
No, sir.
No,
No.
sir.
Unless you study it. गोटे कंट्रोल ग्रुप बॉयज गर्ल्स भितर में कंपेयर करिबा मैथमेटिकल अचीवमेंट who which group is better, either boys students or the girl students in respect of a particular subject. So you have to find out the problem, select a problem first. It is clear? See, problem must be a felt need of the learner and the teacher. There are 4 teachers teaching a particular subject in a school, a large school say, and 3 teachers discuss among themselves that the students are not satisfied with our teaching. But the 4th one is appreciated by the students. Now let us discuss what is the technique that the 4th teacher adopts as a result of which he is appreciated by all the students. Point बुझले मोर कथाटा? Are all the teachers efficient, effective?
No, sir.
No. ତମେ ସ୍କୁଲରେ ସବୁ ପାଠ ପଢିକି ଆସିଥିବ, କଲେଜରେ ପଢିକି ଆସିଥିବ, କିଏ ଘର କଥା କହିଲାଣି, କିଏ କୋଉ କଥା କହିଲାଣି, କହିବେ ଅଧା ସମୟ କଟେଇବେ ଆଉ ଯେତିକି ସମୟ ବଳିବ ସେତିକି ସମୟରେ ଗପସପ କରି ଚାଲିବେ। ଏହା ନାଇଁ, କଲେଜରେ ବେଶୀ ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାର କଲେଜରେ ଏଟା ବେଶୀ ଦେଖାଯାଏ। ତମେ ସବୁ ତ ଗ୍ରାଜୁଏସନ ପଢିଥିବ ସବୁ କଲେଜରେ, କିଏ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ଅନଲାଇନ କ୍ଲାସ ଡିଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସ କଥା ଛାଡି ଦିଅ, ରେଗୁଲାର କ୍ଲାसेस ଯୋଉ ମାନେ କରିଥିବ, ଏକ ତ ମୋଷ୍ଟ ଅଫ ଦି କ୍ଲାसेस ଆର୍ ଆଇଦର ଡ୍ରପ୍ or the teacher does not take the class, or if he takes the class, he takes not according to the interest or according to the satisfaction of the learner. Yes or not? What I say? I say out of my experience.
Yes, sir.
I say out of my experience. I have long experience as a college teacher. So we have to select which method of teaching is more effective for the learner. Then stating the hypothesis. Hypothesis, the possible solution. Hypothesis, layman's point of view, there is a problem, and the problem is followed by the possible solution. I just give you a very layman's example. You have to reach at a particular goal, particular place. On the way, there is a river. And what will you do? What will you think? If there is a river, what will you do? You have to cross the river by any means. Either those who know the swimming, they can swim it and reach uh, within less time, but who do not What will they do? They will wait for the boat. If the boat is not available, you have to apply a mind which is the shortest route. Where there is a bridge, we can overcome the barrier. So these are the possible solution to a problem, because I have told you the behavior is goal directed. At any cost, you have to reach at the goal. If there is a barrier, we have to think of the hypothesis, the possible solution. I was giving the example of the plucking the mango from the tree. When there is a fence, so someone throw the stones, or some no, the mango will not come. So stretch uh, the bamboo sticks so that we can easily get the mango. So what are the possible solution? Hypothesis is expected or possible solution. Is it clear? Let us
Yes.
come to the teaching learning process. Let us come to the teaching learning process. In the experimental design must be followed by hypothesis. But in survey method, there is no necessity. But in a particularly historical method, there is no necessity of formulating the hypothesis. But experimental method is always followed by hypothesis. There must be hypothesis. So we can say, suppose we can take the sample of urban rural areas to conduct the experiment. Suppose the intervention program, the interactive technology. Intervention is interactive technology. So we can say the interactive technology has effect on the performance of the learner, is declarative. Or say hypothesis आर year chapter अछि पढ़िबा, or there is no significance difference, null hypothesis हम जिबा. So there are different types of it. Let us not discuss here. You will discuss in a separate class. So after this ये book is over. So we have to, there is a difference between the performance of the urban areas and rural areas. There is a difference between boys and girls. Okay, these are the hypotheses due to intervention program. Is it clear? बुझिए लगे नहीं? Hello, tell me.
Okay, sir.
Then conducting the experimental design. How you will conduct the को प्रकार डिजाइन नबा, क्वासी एक्सपेरिमेंटल नबा, ना प्री एक्सपेरिमेंटल नबा, ना ट्रू एक्सपेरिमेंटल डिजाइन. You have to select. Then केमती ग्रुप करिबा, केमती कहा को कंट्रोल ग्रुप करिया, कहा को एक्सपेरिमेंटल का ग्रुप करिया, को ग्रुप को इंटरवेंशन दबा, इंटरवेंशन को ग्रुप दिया जीवो. Which group will be provided the intervention program?
Experimental group.
Experimental group.
Experimental. Good. Then जो टेस्ट हमें यूज करूचे इन द ट्रू एक्सपेरिमेंट, सपोज इंटेलिजेंस वी हैव टू मेजर टू मेक द ग्रुप्स इक्वल इन ऑल रेस्पेक्ट. The reliability and validity of the instrument that we use to make the groups equal in all respect in case of true experimental design. So the test must have high reliability coefficient and high validity coefficient. Reliability कौन, validity कौन? Validity is truthfulness, सत्यता. And reliability, विश्वसनीयता. Suppose a test is conducted on a particular group, a particular mean will be obtained. After some time, this test will be conducted. If he gives different score, then the test has less reliability. When the test is administered number of times and the result fluctuates changes from time to time, then it has less. Those are standardized test, means the test has a predetermined reliability and validity. ଆଗରୁ ତାର ସେ ନିର୍ଣ୍ଣୟ କରି ରଖା ହେଇଛି. So the reliability and validity coefficient of a test must be 0.6 above, so that we can adopt these tests. Okay. Reliability validity.
ଭ୍ୟାଲିଡିଟି ମାନେ କଣ କହିଲେ? ବୈଧତା.
validity ମାନେ ବୈଧତା. ଧର ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ତମକୁ ଦଉଛି ବୈଧତା, ସେ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ବୁଝିବା ପାଇଁ. The automobile engineer, sorry, loco pilot. ଲୋକ ପାଇଲଟ କାହାକୁ କହୁଛେ ଆମେ?
ଟ୍ରେନର ଡ୍ରାଇଭର କୁ.
ଲୋକ ପାଇଲଟ.
ଆସିଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ.
ଲୋକ ପାଇଲଟ
ଟ୍ରେନ ଯେ
ଟ୍ରେନ
ଚଲାଉଛି.
ଡ୍ରାଇଭର ବା. ଲୋକ
ଆଜ୍ଞା.
ପାଇଲଟ ଟ୍ରେନ ଡ୍ରାଇଭର. He also uses the instrument for determining the time. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes sir.
The
Yes sir.
astronauts also use the instrument which determines the time. Here the astronauts, the time, the instrument measuring time is always valid because it is the fraction of a second is more valuable. आज बहुत डिस्कशन होता है विषय ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆସୁଛି ନେଇକିରି ଇଏକୁ, ଯେ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ଫ୍ରାକ୍ସନ ଅଫ ସେକେଣ୍ଡରେ ଯଦି ଏପଟ ସେପଟ ହେଇଗଲା ତାହେଲେ ଧ୍ୱଂସ ହେଇଯିବେ, ସେ ଯାନଟା ଧ୍ୱଂସ ହେଇଯିବ. ଏବଂ କେତେ ଆକୁରେସି, ଏତିକି ସେକେଣ୍ଡରେ ଏଇଠି ପହଞ୍ଚିବ, ଏତିକି ସେକେଣ୍ଡରେ 37,000 ସ୍ପିଡରେ ଥିଲା, 27,000 କମି 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 ଆସିକିରି ଆଟଲାଣ୍ଟିକ ସିରେ ପଡିଲା. ଏବଂ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ that is valid for them, but the loco pilot they also use the instrument for time, so that is valid for them. We also use the wristwatch. The wristwatch is valid for us. Time is the watch is important for everybody, so for a particular purpose we use that. Yes or no? For ଆମେ ରିଷ୍ଟ ୱାଚକୁ ନେଇକି ଆଷ୍ଟ୍ରୋନଟ୍ ମାନେ ଯାଇପାରିବେ କି? ଯୋଉ ସ୍ପେସ୍ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ହଉଛି ଏହି ରିଷ୍ଟ ୱାଚରେ ହବ କି ସେ କଥା?
No,
ତାଙ୍କର
sir.
ଏକଦମ ଫ୍ରାକ୍ସନ ଅଫ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଇଜ ଭେରି ଭ୍ୟାଲୁଏବୁଲ. ସେଇଟା ହଉଛି ବୈଧତା ବା what the purpose, the test which fulfills the what intends to propose to measure. It measures what it intends to measure. ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ ଇଣ୍ଟେଲିଜେନ୍ସ ଟେଷ୍ଟ, ସେ ଇଣ୍ଟେଲିଜେନ୍ସ ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତେ ଆଉ କଣ ଭେରିଏବଲ ମାପିଲା, ତାହେଲେ ସେଇଟା ବୈଧତା ନୁହେଁ. ବୁଝିହେଲା? ବୈଧତା ଆଣ୍ଡ ବିଶ୍ୱସନୀୟତା. ତମେ କହୁନ ୟୁ ଆର୍ ନଟ୍ ରିଲାଏବୁଲ, ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ତମେ ବି ୟୁଜ କର ତମ ଫ୍ରେଣ୍ଡ ମାନ ମଧ୍ୟରେ, ତତେ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କରି ହବନି, ହଁ ନା ନାଇଁ? ଆରେ ଡୋଣ୍ଟ ୟୁ ୟୁଜ ଦିସ୍ ଷ୍ଟେଟମେଣ୍ଟ ଅର୍ ନଟ୍?
Yes sir.
ୟୁ ଆର୍ ନଟ୍ ରିଲାଏବୁଲ, ତତେ ଡିପେଣ୍ଡ କରି ହବ ନାହିଁ. ଏ ତା ଖାଣ୍ଟି ଓଡିଆରେ କହିଲେ ସେମିତି. The test must be reliable, high reliable coefficient and validity coefficient. Okay?
Yes sir.
Acha. Then correlation and cause are different. Causation, the relationship between two variables, that is correlation. Achievement in mathematics, achievement in science, English, we have to find out the relationship between the two variables. Achievement in mathematics is one variable, achievement in English in other variable. So that is a correlation method. Then also we have to interpret the result. Hypothesis naba, we have to test the hypothesis. The hypothesis which was taken earlier, whether it is rejected or will be retained. That rejection and retention of the hypothesis depends on the analysis, the statistical analysis. On the basis of statistical analysis, we have to reject or retain the hypothesis. So, accordingly, the experimental research, these are the steps. Then, our qualitative research. Here we have discussed about the quantitative research. That the variables are expressed in number or numerals. Mathematical achievement, science achievement. That is a score will be obtained. That is quantitative research. Okay? That is quantitative research. In quantitative research, we have to formulate the hypothesis. So, in qualitative research, in quantitative research, there is a predetermined hypothesis. We have to earlier formulate the hypothesis in quantitative research. But in qualitative research, we have to study the behavior of a criminal who is in the jail. Suppose behavior of a criminal who is in the jail. You have no idea about the person. So we have to go to the jail and conduct an interview, observe the various activities. So, and you note it down. What are the various aspects of his behavior, whether he is sociable or not sociable, under which circumstances he has come to committed the crime. ଆଜି ଗୋଟେ ଦେଖଉଥିଲା every day there is a crime and a news in mass media every day it comes in the mass media. ଆଜି ଦେଖଉଥିଲା ଯେ ତା ସ୍ତ୍ରୀ ତା ସ୍ୱାମୀ କି 16 ଖଣ୍ଡ କରିକି କାଟିକିରି ରଖିଥିଲା ଗାଁ ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ ଡମ୍ ଭିତରେ କରି କାଟି ଘର ଦ୍ୱାର ବୁଲିକି ଚାଲିଗଲା କିନ୍ତୁ ସେଟା ଡ୍ରମ୍ ଟା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗନ୍ଧ ହେଲା ତାପରେ ଜଣା ପଡିଲା ଏବଂ the cause is that due to his extramarital affair with others. ତା ଲଭର ସେ ମିଶିକି ତାକୁ 16 ଖଣ୍ଡ କରି କାଟିଦେଲେ। ଆଉ କିଛି ଦିନ ଦେଖିଥିବ ଯେ ଜଣେ ବାପା ତାର ଦି ପୁଅକୁ ମାରିଦେଲା। It has been published in the paper. Reason is, what is the cause? Cause is, effect ହେଲା ମାରିଦେବାଟା। Cause is to marry again, which was opposed by the sons. ବେଳେ ବେଳେ the sons, they killed their father in order to get the property. So there are many causes. So in the qualitative research, we have to go to the person concerned and conduct the interview and face-to-face dialogue with them. And he will come to the conclusion under these circumstances, he has come to the jail committing the crime. This is the qualitative research. Followed. This is called qualitative research. For qualitative research, there is no necessity of a hypothesis. Only you can find out the percentage of केते criminal को study करि परिबो जदी खाली एई अनुसारे एति जण crime करछन्ती, that can be assessed. And for that there is a chi-square test. In order to test the qualitative research, interpret the qualitative research, we have to adopt the chi-square. For example, there are many shops available in the market. Am I right? Lux, Lifebuoy, or any other shop. So let us take three shops. ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ଯେ ଏଇ ତିନିଟା ସପ୍ ଆମେ ୟାରି ଉପରେ କରିବା ଆମେ କ'ଣ କ୍ୱାଲିଟେଟିଭ ସର୍ଭେ କରିବା। ଏକ୍ସପେକ୍ଟେଡ ସେ କ'ଣ ରହିବ ଧର 60 ସାମ୍ପଲ ଆମେ ନେଲେ 60 samples ଯେ equally must be the three shops are used equally by the consumer. Yes or no? ये हमर एक्सपेक्टेशन रहिबो किंतु ऑब्जर्व जेते आमे सर्वे करूचे दि सर्वे रिजल्ट वेरीज बेटे 20 कलानी के कलानी 40 ऐसे 20 के कलानी 30 आउ के कलानी 10 ए भूल गेला 20 30 हां 10 सेठी आमे क्वालिटेटिव रिसर्च इंटरप्रेट करिया पे आमे काई स्क्वायर टेस्ट पकोउचे तो पछर देखिबा हमर स्टैटिस्टिकल इंटरप्रिटेशन रे सो दिस इज कॉल्ड योर the qualitative research not quantity. It is question of percentage, how much percentage are in quality. Then definition of quality research तमे देखि दबो किछ असुविधा नहीं. Characteristics of qualitative research: the multiple reality, meaningful interpretation, generation of knowledge, generalization, human relation, value system. There are multiple realities. You cannot say the one reason responsible for a particular crime. There are multiple reasons, multiple realities, and some realities are observed and some realities are hidden. Because the mind has three layers. What are these? Conscious, subconscious, unconscious. Most of the activities are taking place with the help of the conscious level of mind. Most no, only 10%. 90% of your desire are settled down in the unconscious level of mind. From your life, from your birth, do you think that all your needs or interests are fulfilled, have been fulfilled?
No, sir.
जन्मरू जेते सब तुम नीड्स फुलफिल ହେଇଛି
No, sir.
जे unfulfilled desires are settled down in the unconscious level of mind. That constitutes the 9/10 of the brain. Only 1/10 of the brain that the conscious level is utilized. So when we project into the unconscious level of mind, we can study the individual. Here the qualitative research comes. The multiple reality. What is his desire? Then meaningful and interpretation. Interpretation must be कारण जेतेला हम जन को स्टडी करिया को जाउचे बेले बेले वी आर बायस्ड ऑफ हिम, बायस्ड ऑफ आवरसेल्व्स. केमिति बायस होउचे हमें बेले ता कथाटा को निज देह को नेकरी इंटरप्रिटेशन कर दोउचे. बुझ परल त देयर इज बायसनेस. So one must be free from all biases so that the qualitative research will be successful. Then it is also generation of knowledge and also we can gain knowledge out of that. यही कारण जोगु यही लोक यही काम कला. तापरे we come to the conclusion that this is the reason for which he is not going to the school. जो कहउतले ड्रॉप आउट से. We also conduct research, qualitative research on dropouts. Whether the school climate is attractive or not attractive, whether teacher is attractive or not attractive, whether subject is attractive or not attractive, we come to the conclusion. आजिकल तो प्राय समस्ते गोटे आड़ी को महिंचंती सेटा कोन ओडिया मीडियम स्कूल ना इंग्लिश मीडियम स्कूल ना सरस्वती शिशु मंदिर
English medium, sir.
इंग्लिश मीडियम समस्त कोन आईएएस हे जिवे ना समस्त साइंटिस्ट हे जिवे. The tendency towards English medium schools. ସବୁଠି ଟ୍ୟୁସନ୍ ଦେବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ। ଓଡ଼ିଆ ମିଡ଼ିୟମ୍ ସ୍କୁଲ ପଢ଼ିଲେ ଦେବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ, ଇଂଲିଶ ମିଡ଼ିୟମ୍ ସ୍କୁଲ ପଢ଼ିଲେ ଦେବାକୁ, କିନ୍ତୁ ବଟ୍ a rickshaw puller has also the tendency to send his children to the English medium schools. କିନ୍ତୁ ରେଜଲ୍ଟ କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି? The Saraswati ଶିଶୁ ମନ୍ଦିର comes first. Then comes the government schools. ତାଙ୍କ salary is very low. ଆଙ୍କର ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ସ୍କୁଲରେ ସିଲେକ୍ସନ ପ୍ରୋସିଜର ଆସି ବହୁତ ପଇସା ପାଉଛନ୍ତି। It is the accountability. The question of accountability. So you can conduct also qualitative research on these issues. तापर human relations. Also, when you conduct research, qualitative research, what will you? There will be interaction between the धर prisoner पाक गलो, that's the interaction हला, that भी बहुत कुछ सिखिलो तमे. Nobody is born as criminal. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Nobody is born as a criminal. But the circumstances made him criminal. को परिस्थिति रे पड़ी के कौन हे जाउछ. Always what we do, we compare with others in respect of the material aspect, not with the intellectual aspects. किछि लोक अछन तांगर किछि जेमति किछि तफात न थाए. ए तार से बड़ लोक हला हमर से कोन हला. मु जते लोक किछि लोक से मिसे से सब किछि लोक को are jealous of others. Others are not jealous of others. So, it's a human relationship. When you interact with others, there is a human relationship. And also, you have developed the value system. Social value, moral values. से क्राइम कला पर तार अनुताप आसे. But a particular moment he takes the decision and makes crime, but afterwards there is a repentance, and that is also value. तो conduct the qualitative research करी पढ़ी दो भाई, किसी असुविधा किसी नहीं. अच्छा, ये प्राय जहाँ अच्छी सब पढ़ी दो, प्राय कही देजी सब. आरट को जीवा ये थर्ड ताको टिके जीवा. तमर गोटे अछि कोन अछि डिसर्टेशन पेपर अछि नहीं.
Yes,
You
sir.
have a dissertation paper having the mark 100.
Yes, sir.
Sethre you have to identify a problem and do the problem, and sethre गोटे अछि formulation of research questions. The investigator, the researcher has to find formulate certain questions. Suppose the poor performance of the learner, say whether the poor performance because of the home climate, whether the poor performance because of the school climate, whether the poor performance because of the learner himself, whether the poor performance due to the transaction of the content by the teacher. So many research questions will come to our mind. These are the research questions. Unless you have the research question in your mind, you cannot progress. बुझेला the research question केमते होउची. Then
टिके सर आउ थरे टिके कहि देबे एटा.
हाँ कहूची. Before formulation of hypothesis or objectives, तार अच्छी प्रथम है इंट्रोडक्शन, तापर है रेशनल ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम, तापर है रिसर्च क्वेश्चंस. Research question, suppose you are going to study the poor performance of the learner, maybe qualitative or maybe quantitative. Well, here you have to ask yourself, what are the reason for the poor performance of the learner? Due to the home environment, it is 100% নহলে भी it is one of the factors responsible for poor performance, because the people coming from poor economic conditions, they are not able to provide proper learning materials, and they cannot afford tuition to the his sons and daughter. So whatever is taught in the school, that is again he or she, the same thing will be taught through the tutors. ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ପଢୁଥିବା, ତମେ ପଢୁଥିଲ, ମୁଁ ଜାଣିନି ତମ କଥା କଣ କରିଥିବ, ସେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଟ୍ୟୁଟର କଥା ବି ଚିନ୍ତା କରିପାରୁନଥିଲୁ during the college career or during the high school career. ଗୋଟେ ଏମିତି କୋଚିଂ ସେଣ୍ଟରକୁ ଯିବ, ଟିଚରଙ୍କ ପାଖେ ଟ୍ୟୁଟରଙ୍କ ପାଖକୁ ଯିବ, ଏସବୁ କଥାର ଆମର ସବୁ ଚିନ୍ତାର ବାହାରେ ଥିଲା, ସବୁ ଧାରଣାର ବାହାରେ. କିନ୍ତୁ ଏବେ but in existing system it is a must. କାଇଁ must? କାରଣ in the classroom situation, what I have observed during my school career, the teachers were dedicated. Some are not teaching so effectively, but some teachers were very effective and dedicated, and there was no necessity of the extra coaching or any other thing. So these questions comes to our mind, whether parents are educated and take care of the child properly or not. ଗୋଟେ क्वेश्चन ଆସିପାରେ ମନ ଭିତରେ, ଆସିବ ନା ନାହିଁ? Whether the child is interested to learn the particular subject or not, whether child gets proper understanding or satisfaction in the school by the teacher, whether the school climate is favorable or not. ଏଇଟା ହେଲା ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍. ତମର ଗୋଟେ ଖାଲି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ମୁଁ ତମକୁ କହିଲି, ପୋର ଆଟେଣ୍ଡାନ୍ସ ଆର କେସ୍ ଷ୍ଟଡି ହ୍ୱାଟ ଏଭର ଇଟ୍ ମେ ବି. ଧରାଯାଉ let us think of two qualitative study କଥା କହୁଛି. Two learners are going to the school. One is accompanied by his mother or father, other is accompanied by his maid servants. They develop different mechanism, both the. ସେଇଠି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଆସିଲା, why such things occur? Why did they, a particular child, develop a different mechanism who is accompanied by the maid servant? କାହିଁକି? ଯିଏ ତାର ବାପା ମା ତା ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ସେ ହାଲ ହାଇକି ସ୍କୁଲ ପଳେଇଲା ବଡ ଖୁସିରେ. ଇଏ ମେଡ୍ ସର୍ଭାଣ୍ଟକୁ କଣ କହିବ? ହାଲ ହାଇ କଣ କହିବ? କିଛି କହିପାରିବନି. The heartedness towards the parents. Because child wants what does he want? What does the child want?
affectionate,
Yes, protection, affection, everything the child wants. If these needs are not satisfied, he becomes enemy to the parents. ତମକୁ ମୁଁ କହୁଥିଲି ଯେ ସେ ଫିଲ୍ମ ନାଁଟା ଭୁଲିଗଲାଣି, Sarabi. Have you visited Sarabi film? or seen Sarai film, Amitabh Bachchan and that Jayaprada, Sarabi,
No, sir.
ଦେଖିନ? ଅମିତାଭ ବଚ୍ଚନ ଗୋଟେ ଧନୀ ଲୋକର ପୁଅ ହେଇଛି, but the father has no time to take care of his child. He was reared by the servant, and one day there was a explosion, and he told that you have time to earn money, but you don't have time to take care of your child. This happens. So these are the questions comes to our mind, whether the child is well or properly developed at home or gets proper education, whether parents give the protection, etc. These are the research questions that is in our mind. Hela, both qualitative and quantitative research. Then uh, the various problems, where do you get the various problems? One of the source is theories. Various theories are there. Out of these theories, we can also formulate the problems. Out of experience, you can formulate the problems. Out of a discussion with others, you can formulate the problem. Out of a dissatisfaction, also you can formulate the problem. Whether you are dissatisfied with the present day system of education, so you can study whether the present day system is favorable for the learners or not favorable for the learners. ଆଜିକାଲି ଏବେ ଉଠିଲାଣି ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ କ'ଣ କରିଦେଇଛି, ଏଇ ନ୍ୟୁ ଏଜୁକେସନ ପଲିସିକି ଧରିକିରି ଗୋଟେ ଏଜ୍ କରିଦେଇଛି। ଏଜ୍ କେତେ? 6। ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟର ନୋଟିଫିକେସନ କରିଛି ଯେ ବାଇ ସେପ୍ଟେମ୍ବର ଅଫ୍ ଏଭ୍ରି ମନ୍ଥ, ଏଭ୍ରି ଇୟର, the child must attain the age of 6 to get admission on 1st April. ସେ 6 ମାସ କୁଆଡେ ଯିବ? ସେ ଯୋଉ 6.5 ବର୍ଷ ସେଇଠି କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ୍ କରିଗଲା, ଏଠି ହେଲା ଆହୁରି 6 ମାସ ରହିଲାଣି ତୋ ପାଖରେ। তুমি କରିଥାନ୍ତ ମାର୍ଚ୍ଚ 31 କରିଥାନ୍ତ, ମାନେ why there will be age bar for to take admission in the class 1? There are some intelligent people, those who do not require the age bar. ଆମ ସମୟରେ ଥିଲା ଯିଏ ଭଲ ପିଲା ଭଲ ପଢୁଥିଲେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଡବଲ କ୍ଲାସ ପ୍ରମୋସନ ଦିଆହଉଥିଲା, ସେଠି ତ ଏଜ୍ ବାର ଦେଖା ହଉନଥିଲା। ନା ନା ସେ ପିଲା ଭଲ ହେଇକିରି ଉଠି ହେଇନାହାନ୍ତି, କ୍ଲାସ 2 ହେଲେ କ୍ଲାସ 4 କୁ ଏକାବେଳେ ଜମ୍ପ କରିଗଲେ ସେମାନେ, and they could understand the topics or subjects of class 4. That was possible. So here is ଏ ଦଳେ ଯୋଉ ଅଛନ୍ତି ରାଜନେତା ଏବଂ ଦଳେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଯୋଉ IAS officers, they have no practical knowledge, they have no ground reality. So you can also take the opinion, the age 6 ନିଆଯାଇଛି by September of every month, every year, the opinion of the parents about the age for admission into class 1 କିଛି ଆରାମ ସେ ବଢିଆ ଷ୍ଟଡି ହବ। ଅର୍ବାନ ନବ, ରୁରାଲ ନବ, କେତେ ଏଗ୍ରି କରୁଛନ୍ତି କେତେ ଡିସଏଗ୍ରି କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସବୁ ବାହାରିଯିବ, କିନ୍ତୁ ନବାର ଅଛି। So through different literature also we can get it, and that you can do it. Research question କଥା ମୁଁ ଆଲୋଚନା କରିଦେଇଛି, then how do formulate question କୁହାଯାଇଛି। ତାପରେ ଆସିବା ଆମେ hypothesis, nature of hypothesis. What is hypothesis? Hypothesis is tentative solution to a problem. Is it clear? Hypothesis is always called the tentative solution to a problem or probable solution. We conduct the experiment on a problem, different problems. maybe social problem, maybe any problem. So, what will be the solution, tentative solution or expected solution? That is called your hypothesis. So, what they say, why does a gifted child become a poor achiever in his class? It should not. Gifted child become poor achiever habo? Haboni kebe? Tar
No, sir.
intelligence is very high. ତମର ସେମିତି ଦେଖିଥିବ ଆମର ଆଇନଷ୍ଟାଇନ ଜାଣିଛ ଜଣେ ବୈଜ୍ଞାନିକ ଥିଲେ
Yes, sir.
ହଁ ଆଇନଷ୍ଟାଇନ ସେ ଏତେ ବଡ ବୈଜ୍ଞାନିକ କିନ୍ତୁ ସେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଧୋବାକୁ ଦଉଥିଲେ ଲୁଗା ଏବଂ ଯେତେବେଳେ ପଇସା କେତେ ଦରକାର ସେ ଭୁଲି ଯାଉଥିଲେ କେତେ ପଇସା ହବ କେତେଟା ଲୁଗା ଏତିକି ଗୋଟେ ଲୁଗାକୁ ଏତିକି ପଇସା ହେଲେ କେତେ ଟଙ୍କା ହବ ସେ ସିମ୍ପଲ ମଲ୍ଟିପ୍ଲିକେସନ ହି ୱାଜ ଫରଗେଟିଂ ତା ଅର୍ଥ କଣ ସେ ମ୍ୟାଥମେଟିକ୍ସ ଜାଣିନାହାନ୍ତି ଏଟା ଗ୍ରେଟ୍ ମ୍ୟାଥମେଟିସିଆନ୍ ନା କାରଣ ହଉଛି when mind is preoccupied by something else ତମେ ଗୋଟେ କହିଲା କଥା କହୁଥିଲା ବେଳେ ତମକୁ ନ ଶୁଣିଲା ଭଳିଆ ତମକୁ ଜଣା ପଡୁଥିବ mind does not work there forgetting that is the when mind is the preoccupied by something forgetting takes place ଭୁଲିବାଟା ଆରମ୍ଭ ହବ କାରଣ mind is not such a vast thing which can preserve anything else ସଂସାର ଯାକର ତଥ୍ୟ ମୁଣ୍ଡ ଭିତରେ ରହିପାରିବନି mind has certain capacity retain the learning materials so when the mind is preoccupied something ତମକୁ ଧର କହିଥିବେ ଘରେ ବାପା କି ମା କି କିଏ କହିଥିବେ ଏଇ ଜିନିଷ ଟିକେ ବଜାରକୁ ଆଣିଲୁ ତମେ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କାମରେ ଯାଇଥିବ କିନ୍ତୁ ଆସିଲା ବେଳକୁ ଭୁଲି ଯାଇଛ ସେ କାମଟା ସେ ଜିନିଷଟା ଆଣିବା ପାଇଁ ଏଠୁ ଘରେ ପଚାରିବେ କାହିଁ ଆଣିଲନି ଆହା ଭୁଲିଗଲି ତାର କଣ ଇଣ୍ଟେନସନରେ ଭୁଲି ଯାଇଛ ନା ତ ମାଇଣ୍ଡ ଅନ୍ୟ କୁଆଡେ କାମ କରୁଛି ସେ କଥାଟା ମୁଣ୍ଡରୁ ତମର ଆଉ ନାହିଁ ଆଉ ବୟସ ଆସ୍ତେ ଆସ୍ତେ ହେଲେ ଡିମେନ୍ସିଆ ହୁଏ ମାନେ ଫରଗେଟଫୁଲନେସ୍ ଅତି ସହଜରେ ଭୁଲିଯାଅ ଯେତେ ଯେତେ ଆମେ ଗ୍ରୋ କରିବା ଓଲ୍ଡ ଆମ ଭଳିଆ ଏଜରେ ହେଲେ ଆମର ଡିମେନ୍ସିଆ ଆରମ୍ଭ ହବ ସେତେବେଳେ ତେଣୁ ମାଇଣ୍ଡଟାକୁ ଯେତେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭ ରଖିବ ସେତେ ତମର ଇଏ ମେମୋରି ପାୱାରଟା ଷ୍ଟ୍ରଙ୍ଗ ହେଇ ରହିବ ଯେତେ ଇନଆକ୍ଟିଭ ରଖିବ ସେତେ ରହିବ ନାହିଁ ତାହେଲେ ହାଇପୋଥେସିସ୍ ହଁ hypothesis sources of hypothesis from experience from background of knowledge from versatility of intellect analogous scientific theory authentic knowledge ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ପଢିଦେବ କିଛି ଇଜି ଥିଙ୍ଗସ୍ ଖାଲି ମୁଁ କହିଦଉଛି types of hypothesis directional non directional null hypothesis ବୁଝିହେଲା one is called directional hypothesis non directional hypothesis ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା କଣ ତମର null hypothesis ହେଲା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ କହିବା there is a positive relationship between achievement and study habit this is called your directional hypothesis ବୁଝିହେଲା you have to pinpoint that the expected result will be such that between the study habit there is a and achievement there is a positive relation ବୁଝିହେଲା you have to going to study that relationship between study habit and achievement this is your problem so if you apply direct directional hypothesis so you can say that there is positive relationship between the study habit and academic achievement non directional ହେଲେ କଣ ଲେଖିବା there is some relationship there is relationship neither positive nor negative ତେମେ କରୁନ relationship is found between the study habit and the academic achievement neither you direct something nor you nullify it ଯଦି null କୁ ଯିବା there is no significant difference between the study habit and the achievement of the learner. ଏଇଟା null. ସଦାବେଳେ ଆମେ null hypothesis adopt କରୁ ଏବଂ ତାକୁ ଟେଷ୍ଟ କରୁ. ଆମେ କହିବା there is a positive relationship between mathematics and science. This is directional. There is some relationship between science and mathematics. This is non-directional. And there is no significant difference between mathematics and science. That is null hypothesis. So କେତେ ପ୍ରକାର hypothesis ହେଲା?
ତିନି ପ୍ରକାର ସାର୍।
ତିନି ପ୍ରକାର. ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା directional, ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା non-directional, ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା null. Always when the research is conducted, we always apply the null hypothesis for our convenience. So we can go for analysis like this, whether the hypothesis will be rejected or will be accepted. So let us close this class today. Tomorrow we will meet. Okay. Thank you very much for a patient hearing.
सर
Thank you.
थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.